Hi, my name is Lukonga Lindunda and I'm co-founder and executive director of BongoHive. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary and I'm joined by my business partners, Simunza and Slumesi. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, greetings everybody. My name is Simunza Myangan and I lead entrepreneurship and innovation as services that we provide at BongoHive.
My name is Slumesi Maboshe. I lead BongoHive Consult.
So you obviously want to know how we started. 10 years ago, I noticed a gap in the market. At my previous work, we were looking for innovators and entrepreneurs, and it was really hard to find them. And personally, coming across like-minded individuals was much harder. But I came across these two individuals, and they also tell stories about how we ended up starting BongoHive.
So I think where I come from, my background was I came from a software development background, and I was always keen on seeing how people could build their own solutions, and I always thought that building software was possibly an affordable way of innovating as opposed to the industrial way of building factories. I mean, I'm not saying that we don't need industries, but I was keen to see more of that happen and see that happen. What was your thoughts about how to get involved in that?
Yeah, so for me, I guess I believe back then, still do, that there's an opportunity for Zambians to participate in technology. I think I was just super excited to be able to share the little I knew at the time. And it's exciting to see how that has grown, to see how we've got more software developers in the country and more software developers doing big things. Yeah.
All right, great. And picking up on what you saw and the opportunity to see something going on. Over the last 10 years, one of the lessons I've learned was starting off from the ambition of, okay, great, let's build software, was we didn't really have a talent pool that would be able to churn out these solutions that I thought that we could have. And we then opened up and became agnostic in the sense that, okay, great, let's focus on different sectors. And so a lesson that I learned over the last 10 years was the gaps that exist in various sectors, for example, in education, in agriculture, and other places, that afforded an opportunity to say, okay, great, if leveraged properly, if technology is leveraged properly with people and processes, you could build companies that address some of those things. What are some things that you've learned over the last 10 years?
So when we started, I kept having sleepless nights about where we'd find the innovators and entrepreneurs. And over the past 10 years, it's been discovering that everyone actually deserves a chance. So wherever they've been, whatever background they have, if we're able to create the environment that helps them succeed, they can succeed. And BongoHive plays a big role in helping people to succeed. But everyone does deserve a chance, and I'm glad that BongoHive does help people of all kinds to succeed. Slumesi?
I think I'll jump on the same point. So for me, it's just that it can be done. You give people the opportunity, and there's something about the resilience of the Zambian mind and spirit that can step up. And looking at how software developers have come through, I guess I like talking about software developers because tech is my thing. But across the board, with entrepreneurs, innovators, designers, people who are creative, you give them the opportunity and they do great things with it. So I think the lesson that I've learned is that it can be done. Yeah, it can be done. And then thinking back to, I guess 10 years ago, training in a very, very, I guess, an interesting space here in Osaka, and working with the 10 students that we were with. What does the universe look like for you guys now?
On our end, it's if I speak with regards to entrepreneurship and the team that I'm blessed to be able to work with, is that setting out programs that help people along their journey of their entrepreneurship. So from I have an idea to now how do I get into the market, and finally towards how do I prepare for accelerated growth with working with investors and getting my product into more, or services into more hands in that sense. And then very, very recently, it's now been corporates that are looking at saying, okay, great, how do we research and find out what products and services can come out, and how do we apply technology towards the delivery of these solutions coming out there? So an innovation unit now exists within the team, within BongoHive, and then an entrepreneurship team continues to deliver. And over the last 2 years, towards 5 countries, going beyond Lusaka has been exciting. Yes, Congo.
Yes, the space that we were in 10 years ago was roughly 150 square meters, I believe. Now our work has gone out into the region. We are working in like 5 countries now, like you were saying. But it's been amazing to see that growth over the 10 years from just a small room to us being able to work in the region, but also setting up, a really amazing co-working space, an innovation consulting unit, and also being a leading entrepreneurship support organization in the region. So our universe has grown. And one thing I must say though is that having 3 founders also has helped to grow that universe. That way, we all contributing significantly to exploring the different business opportunities in the local landscape and in the region as well. Sunasi?
Yeah, I think the fact that we have a structure. I remember in the earlier days being very confused in a sense by how to describe what we do, and now it's much easier. So. BongoHive Consult being the kind of place where you can come in with a problem and then out comes a solution. There's like a black box that's BongoHive Consult that's able to guide you from this is my idea. We go through design thinking, we create mock-ups for you, and then we can ultimately deliver a technology solution if that's what you're looking for. So we've got the innovations team, we've got the BongoHive Consult tech teams as well, and I think it's a nice way to be able to grasp at the opportunities that people are coming to us with, and also for us to be able to identify problems in the market and to try and create solutions for them as well. Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's been a good and bad 10 years, right? So there's been all sorts of experiences. One of the things that comes to mind when talking about memorable experiences, for me, 9 years ago, we organized an amazing training session teaching young people how to build apps. And I remember when we went to pitch those apps, some of the responses from other Zambians were, Zambians can now build apps, right? And right from the beginning, we realized we were doing something that other people weren't doing, right? And for me, that set the pace and that, I guess, the tone for the rest of the work that we still continue to do, where we are pioneers in a number of ways. But that for me was quite memorable. I didn't actually expect it, but it was great to get that feedback. And we get that feedback a lot even these days, where people ask, Zambians actually do this, or Zambians actually started BongoHive. But that's an important part of our history at BongoHive, and it's memorable for me. So Messi, yeah.
So some of the things, I guess, memories. There's one project that we did for a bank delivering an altered reality solution, and I guess maybe this is how banks work. But the deadline was so tight, and at the time there was myself doing project management. We had 2 software developers, and then we hired in a consultant to do the graphic design and things like that. But what was exciting was just the ownership on the part of everyone on the team. So there's a small team, 4 people, this grand project, and just how they were solution oriented. We were here long nights. I think we slept maybe 2 hours every day, but we got it done. And just this being able to own a solution, run with it, and deliver on time, that for me, that was a good memory for me.
My memories go back to, very often it's the partners that get involved in the kind of work that we do. I think having decided from the very beginning that we were going to be community focused, even though we were going to be solution driven, especially for viable solutions, but still, how do we get the community engaged? So with mentors, engagements with partners or corporates that then come in and then build out what we now call the spirit of entrepreneurship that now exists, that continues to bubble up within the country and the region as we continue to grow. And some of those have been things that have said, partners that have come in and said, okay, great, we want to solve for a certain thematic area and drive towards that. To partners who will say, great, we think we like what you're trying to do there. Would you like to meet Prince Harry, and let's bring him over to come and hang out with you guys? So those are the memories that I think that have stood out for me. Yeah. So if we care up from the memories and start going towards like the next 10 years, what I'd like to see definitely is still inspired by the original idea of solutions that address, viable solutions that address the local context and grow towards adding value towards the world. And I'm keen to see companies continue to grow, and some of the steps that we're taking, for example, on our side, is now setting up a fund that can now provide necessary resources towards companies that are going to grow from that end. I'm keen to hear what are your thoughts, for example, from the consult angle, like and where that could go for the next 10 years going on.
Yeah, looking back 10 years, so in my mind, I'm really passionate about local solutions by local software developers, and I think that can still be 10 years well spent if we continue down that path. So I'd be excited to see on the London Stock Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, Lusaka Stock Exchange, companies that were started in Zambia by Zambians, developed with Zambian tech, and turning around the multi-billion revenue that we're seeing technology startups and businesses do this time around. I'm not sure. What does that look like for you the next 10 years?
So we like to say we work with great minds building viable solutions that change the world, right? So we have to keep looking for the great minds. We have to keep helping them build the viable solutions. And we have to always keep helping them to see bigger than Lusaka, Zambia, the region, and see the world. When we started, we always asked ourselves, where are the entrepreneurs, where are the innovators, how do we help them to succeed? And we have to keep addressing the various gaps that they face in them trying to succeed. So the next 10 years is, again, trying to complete that cycle. How do we help them to start? How do we help them to grow? How do we help them to grow bigger than what they even think they are capable of? And I'm so excited about the next 10 years because a lot of things are falling in place, and it's going to be even more exciting than the past 10 years. Yeah, more work, more sleepless nights, huh? Yeah, exactly. It's important. But there's a lot of content that we have put together for the rest of the world. And you can follow all the content that we've generated for our anniversary on the hashtag BHTurns10, so BHTURNS 1 and 0. And we are looking forward to the next 10 years of BongoHive. Thank you.